going on, guys? Tuesday, March 31st. As you can see, we still have a significant amount of snow on the ground, but we've definitely had temperatures above freezing during the day, so we are getting some melt. I was finally able to bust through my compost and let that breathe. As you can see, the wattle fencing has been pushed in because of all the snow this winter resting on it. Loosened up the snow on that pile, and that pile let the sun do the rest. So pretty much the only spaces I have where you can see muddy grass is the trails that I have kept for the dogs to run around this winter. As you can see, I still have some pretty big snowbanks on the back of the house. And then the rest of my backyard. Finally see my little pines out there. Uncovered. My fire pit is in front of that, which I do not see yet. Finally see my well. And as you can hear, the ground is very wet and soggy. In the garage today. Tried to organize the best I could, but I just got so much shit in there. I don't know what I'm going to do with. Eventually I think that'll become storage, and we'll build another garage eventually. Went out to Home Depot this morning, got my little greenhouse for inside. It's gonna plant some peppers. You can hear the birdies chirping. Plant some peppers, some lettuce. What else did I get? And broccoli. So I'll start that today or tomorrow inside. And still trying to figure out, the garden was straight ahead right in front of the compost. That's where the previous residents had it. I'm not going super big this year. I'm gonna do broccoli, lettuce, peppers, a couple varieties of tomatoes, some carrots, some basil, cilantro, and that's really basically it. Finally see my driveway. Just a little patch of ice left. Like I said, got the garage somewhat organized, but there's way too much stuff. I gotta take, well, the tires will go with me next week. Take the snow tires off the Tacoma, put my regular tires back on, but I'm debating on building something off of the back of the garage here for storage, just so I can get like snow blower in there, lawnmower. I definitely have to build something for our firewood, which is going to be fairly massive, and I think I'm going to end up putting it on the side of the house, other side of the house, where it gets the most sun. These trees I'll cut down this spring. I was debating on this one, but I think I'm going to leave this one. We're going to have some fencing guys come out. We're still talking about where we want to put the fence, but I want to be able to let the dogs out without hooking them up to these stupid runs, at night, in the morning, to do their business, whatever. But basically I think we'll run it along here, and then pretty much right where the snow begins again after the trail, I think, and then around. Getting chickens this spring, so the gonna do paddocks for the chickens. So basically they'll start off, you know, say this section of the yard, you know, have their coop and a perimeter fence, stay there for a week to 10 days, move to a different section of the yard. So basically I have like 4 different sections. So by the time they get back to the first section, that hasn't been touched in close to a month. See, this snowbank is really up there. Porch is gonna have to be redone. You know, that's gonna be one of my bigger projects, but it's gonna be a tear down. As you can see, how it's supported right now is not ideal. And these have definitely frost heaved a little bit. So, not sure when I'll start that. You know, that could be this spring or summer. And then if you go through those doors, that's our unfinished room. The previous residents say started, but not really. We have like 2 pieces of tongue and groove on the wall, so the walls still need to be redone. Look at that chunk of ice. Need to do the walls, the ceiling, but might just come in with drywall for that. So see, I kept this all clear this winter, snow blown. Whew. There's our dish, and this is probably where the firewood's gonna go. Storage out here somewhere. This field will eventually be fenced in, and our pigs and goats will be over here, at least to start with. Let's see, I'm ready to see who's in the window.
Who's that? What you doing?
This is our bump out in the living room. They love sitting in the windows. Hi Rosie. Hi Reagan. And then our last little piece of snow that's definitely gonna come off the roof today. That's it. It's dripping pretty good. Just finally able to. Unfortunately, we left the pooper scooper out this winter and it got buried, but I was just able to get that, dig that out, and hopefully at the end of the week, you know, even before, that will be melted. And I can go through and thoroughly pick up dog poop, which is accumulated everywhere. So that's that. Had a nice little walk with Reagan up the road this morning. I actually went into town, into Bar Harbor this morning, got breakfast, and did some food shopping. Picked up some salmon at Hannaford and Bar Harbor, which I don't trust the salmon at Ellsworth, Hannaford. I won't buy from there anymore. It looks like it was thrown on the ground and a motorcycle ran over it, and the coloring is just, it's nasty. It's nasty. The quality of seafood and produce at that store is severely lacking. That's why I really can't wait for, for the next few years here to have chickens, have bees, have goats, have pigs, and basically supply my own food and barter for the rest. I'd love to learn to hunt, to be able to put a deer in the freezer. Like I said, we'll have feeder pigs and probably get some ducks. The goats will supply milk, so milk and cheese, and being able to go fishing at the pond up the road, get my license, and stock the freezer with fish. I would love to pretty much eliminate the grocery store for the most part. I mean, granted, we'll still need it for a few things, but I don't want to have to go there and buy meat or vegetables. I want to be able to supply all of that on my own. In fact, with the whole porch, redoing that, I almost want to turn it into a a greenhouse, or eventually build a greenhouse somewhere on the property so I can extend my growing season. You know, our acreage goes, we have a lot, so it goes back, and that way it comes out on the other road. So if we ever built another house, it would be a completely different address. But you know, I want to clear all that eventually, and I know that's going to take time, it's going to take money, and you know, but it'll supply us with a hell of a lot of firewood for ourselves and to sell. And when I have that land cleared, you know, I can add more animals, add a barn, add a greenhouse, and eventually down the road, potentially, so people who live way up Alderbrook own this land. It comes all the way down, you know, it's all standing timber, so have the potential to possibly, you know, I don't know, further down the road, potentially buy that land from them and, you know, have another 5-6 acres, so have 10 acres plus and all, and you know, it's a lot more animals and a lot more work, but I'm up for it. So look at that, it's my picnic table covered in the tarp. I can finally see it. Haven't seen that since, Jesus, December easily. So anyways, I'm gonna end here, and thanks for watching. Be in touch. Bye.